Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is John with Good Burger Reviews and I'm here to review a brand new 2025 movie. And the movie is Megan 2.0.
It's me. What a shock, etc. My path to personal growth has been paved with disappointment. I think we can agree that my biggest mistake was that I cared too much.
Actually, the biggest mistake you made was murdering 4 people and a dog.
This movie was released into theaters in June of 2025 by Blumhouse, directed by Gerald Johnston. It stars Allison Williams, Jermaine Clement, and Violet McGraw. 2 years after Megan's rampage, her creator Gemma resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, the military-grade weapon who was built by a defense contractor who stole Megan's underlying tech. So when Megan the Original first came out in 2023, I wanted to hate it. And I put off seeing it. I waited till it was free on demand and ended up watching it. And then ended up actually really enjoying it. And then when I heard Megan 2.0 was coming out, the same thing happened. I wanted to hate it. And I just came back from the theater and I don't hate it. It's actually pretty decent. So let's get into it. A funny tidbit about my theater experience. The sneak preview started today. The first showing was at 2 o'clock. And I thought, oh, that's ironic. Megan 2 at 2. But then I noticed that I was sitting in theater 2. And then I noticed that I was also in row 2. And the 2s just kept adding up. And I thought, is this movie going to be a number 2? So it's definitely a movie that has a lot of themes going on and a lot of things going on about it. I felt like in many moments I was watching other types of movies from the past. The 2 main movies that I think of when I think of a movie blend for this one is James Bond meets Mean Girls. Or at least AI Mean Girls. But not only those 2 movies, there was a moment where I felt like a little bit of Enemy of the State was going on. Another moment where I felt like I was watching Fast and the Furious. And another moment where Jurassic Park themes started coming through loud and clear. But this AI robot killer movie was quite intense and packed with a lot of themes. So what was positive? What were the goods about Megan? So Megan 2.0, that is. I would say the characters, Gemma and Katie, are great. They're back to their true form, aunt and daughter. And then Megan herself, when she was there, and I'll get into that, she made me chuckle in some scenes. I mean, she's pretty tough. She's high gear. She's definitely gotten an upgrade. And overall, I felt like the pacing was pretty good, though it lagged in some parts because it was 2 hours long, just about, or almost 2 hours long. There was definitely lots of action, lots of intrigue, lots of mystery, and lots of storylines going on with multiple other characters playing central roles in this movie. In the mix is definitely what Megan has become. And my question is Megan the villain? Or has Megan gone good girl? And it seems like the movie can't make up its mind about whether or not Megan's the antagonist or the protagonist. Especially when there's another robot in this movie that is definitely an antagonist. You have Amelia, who's this military weaponized weapon that was developed just on the same programming as Megan, but of course she has an upgrade as well, and she's quite a tough character. But the thing that was strange about Megan in this one was Megan doesn't always stay in her doll form. She gets her upgrade and it seems like, you know, she starts off where she's in the mirrors and then she's part of like her first doll that Gemma lets her get in is like the Teletubby version of her. And then she becomes Megan, but then she becomes Amelia, and then she's in Gemma's brain. And I thought, you know, it seemed like it took a while before Megan in her true form was presented. And I kept thinking of Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park and saying,
now eventually you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right?
And that will lead me to the negatives. So the negatives is there was just so much going on, so many twists, so many turns, because the movies, even though it was predictable in parts, it was unpredictable in parts because he just kept throwing more twists and more turns, and all of a sudden this person's this and this person's this, and then another bad guy and another character gone south. And it's like, it kind of gave me that vibe that I had with Beetlejuice, where Beetlejuice had so many storylines going on, so many things going on, that Beetlejuice himself took a back seat. And I don't feel like Megan took that much of a back seat when it comes to Megan 2.0, but there definitely was some scenes where, like, where's she at? Like, we have a lot of other stuff going on. Because you have multiple bad guys, multiple red herrings of who the worst bad guy is in this movie, and at some points it does get a little complicated. And I think that's where all these themes were coming through. Like, at one point I started getting enemy of the state feeling. Like, everywhere these characters went, cameras were turning on, AI was turning on. It was like nowhere was safe for Gemma and Katie. And Amelia kind of took that enemy of the state type of approach to, like, she already knows everything. She's already seeing everything. She already has access to everything. Because remember, she's like on Megan's prototype, but like upgraded. And then, you know, Gemma gets a hold of this like Lamborghini in one scene, and like she's doing like 240 miles an hour trying to race Amelia back to their house to try and save Katie. And that's when I started getting Fast and Furious vibes. I mean, this car is Tokyo drifting all over the city. And then for a good part of the movie, it felt like a James Bond movie. So like Megan really, even though she was like a mean girl, like, you know, you have that mean girl character playing like a James Bond storyline, because everything is like discovering a mystery, uncovering a complicated plot, a complicated conspiracy that's going on. AI's taking over, and she's using all this electronics and all this AI intelligence to kind of solve the mystery of this case. So you ask, where does Jurassic Park fit into this mess? Well, I felt like, you know how in Jurassic Park the overall theme was be careful what you create because you don't know what you're doing, and if it gets out of control, it'll come back to bite you in the ass. And that's exactly the same theme that they have with this AI thing. Like, they created Megan, she got out of control, kicked everyone's tail, murdered people, and went bad. And now you have the same thing going on with Amelia, where she's been created by the humans, and then she's turned crazy and she's taking over the world. And it's the same basic theme line that we had in the original Jurassic Park and most of the Jurassic Parks that have come out since. And we have a Jurassic Park coming out next week, so I wonder, you know, maybe Megan will have a little role in that one. But one thing I like, it had that also Jason versus Freddy thing. So like, you have Megan and Amelia battling it out like a Jason versus Freddy. Two AI robotic dolls that have, you know, gone rogue. So those parts were neat. I mean, I felt like when Megan was in her Megan form, like in her doll, I felt like that's when she was the best. And then when she was the Teletubby, she was kind of funny and sarcastic, but I was like, did we really have to put her in Teletubby form at first? And then the reason that happens is Gemma doesn't trust Megan, obviously, so she wants to kind of restrict her when she first unleashes her. But they come to realize that the only way Megan's going to win against Amelia is if they give her, you know, true form. And I guess as a spoiler, you know, Megan gets destroyed, and then she's never fully destroyed because like she becomes like in the AI world, like she somehow gets attached to Gemma and Gemma's brain, and there's a scene where Gemma and Megan are like fused together, and that's like one of the things, one of the tech guys had created a way for AI to become part of a human, which now we're definitely crossing scary territory to what AI can do and how it can be merged with humans. I can see this film getting mixed reviews overall because I think because the essence of Megan has changed in this one, so some people might not like that, but I think other people will really like what this has kind of evolved into. It's very action-packed, it's very thriller-esque. I'd say this definitely is more of a thriller and not even a horror at all. I mean, The kills and the gore is so minimal. It is very minimal. And I guess, typical for Blumhouse PG-13 type of movie, it's more action-packed and tense scene driven. So I'm going to get down to business on this one because I don't want to spoil the whole movie. I think overall it is worth a watch. If you really like the first Megan, I would recommend, hey, go out and see it in the theater. It's got a lot of big set pieces that would be cool to see on that big screen, and a lot of good sound design. Cinematography is half decent as well. And I would give this movie a good burger. Overall, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's an AI robotic doll battling another AI robotic doll. And the entertainment is there, and you have the characters. I think what really saves the movie overall is the characters. And Megan is a character as well. I mean, she really hits home in this one scene where she's kind of connects with Gemma, and she starts talking to Gemma on like a real type of scene, what seems to be like a person-to-person level. And she even sings like this one song, this throwback song from back in the early 2000s, This Woman's Worth. And I mean, it was cute. I mean, overall, this movie was entertaining, a little long, a little overstuffed, but it's a good watch. And if you're not a huge Megan fan but you're curious about it, just wait for it to come into streaming. This is Johnny with Good Burger Reviews, and remember, stay scared of those AI robotic dolls that will take over the world. I just want you guys to know I am working on hitting my 6-month anniversary this July and working my way towards 100 subscribers. Thank you for those who have subscribed and watched and participated in the videos. I'm about 19 away from 100. So if you are liking my content and enjoying the horror movie reviews and the Jaws 50th anniversary series, the Final Destination series, I will work on other series like Jurassic Park. As we get into the Halloween series, Halloween time, I will get into Halloween. So please like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell, all that jazz.